that?
Why didn't you start that then? That's great.
What's that, brother?
It's a horse dick. That's what that is.
Ew, brother. Ew. Ew.
I'm gonna get mine. I'll do the crime if you can do the time. Don't tell me how you walk it down. When you smile in my face, but you play me like a clown, it's a fool, bitch. So just step back. I'm a mad dad when I come down straight. I thought you were my piece, but you play me out. Now I'm mad as hell, and I'll pull it down.
Brother. Ew.
Let's go. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's go.
Cat's gonna get high.
Machine, it's tough to get mean. I'm a lean. Revolution machine. Well, what people stay, they sway. One day is good as any day. You'll feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and walk like this. Promises over the top. Don't cross the line, but you know it's fun. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's go. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's go.
Ew. Ew.
Let's go. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's go.
Ew. Ew.
Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's go. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's go. Who you wanna roll with? 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 Who you wanna roll with?
Huh.
So literally breaking right now. I just saw this. The White House has declared that the drones over New Jersey were authorized by the FAA for research.
Really? What else you got on that? Anything else to that story?
Let's see. So the White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt read a statement from President Trump during today's press briefing that stated the drones flown over New Jersey were authorized by FAA research. The statement went on to read in part, "This was not the enemy."
Were they delivering cannabis to patients, maybe?
I doubt it, but I don't feel like that was the way they needed to state that. Like I know they're gonna do that and they're gonna do it on purpose because this is just what they are, but like it was unnecessary. But if they say so, if that's what I don't really believe a lot of what comes out of their mouths, but I mean, how many laws have they broken within the fucking week that he's been in office so far? So I mean,
He's been very
they
busy.
say so. He's very busy breaking laws and making up reasons why he can break these laws.
There's some things he can't do. Like he wants to get rid of the like if you're a baby born in the USA, you're an American citizen. That was ratified by the Supreme Court back in the 1800s, and
Prove that too.
I don't know why. I don't know. I don't get that one.
I mean, what's not to for his perspective? What's not to get? He does not like it's a non-white person who's orange who doesn't like non-white people. That's That's always the same argument I made the other week that with Snoop Dogg. You've made your career out of talking shit about white people, and yet not only are you going to suck up to a white person, but he's also orange. But yeah, he wants to do that. He was not allowed to fire all those inspector generals that he fired. If anything, he has to give a ratified reason. Those people are there to prevent most of the shit that's going on right now. So, you know,
Do they inspect cannabis at all?
No,
I believe agriculture inspections are.
they make sure that underhanded shit isn't going on. That enter basically the stuff they're supposed to be for. Much like Chris Christie got rid of the Office of Public Advocate, which did the same thing in New Jersey. As an inspector general. Yeah, that's obviously and openly a move to get rid of a check or a balance. Yeah. But right out in the open,
This is literally Project 2025. This is literally what they said they backed away from.
Yeah. Well, okay. First of all, if they said they backed away from it, that's a signal right there.
I know, but I'm just. Yeah,
it's like,
I don't
okay,
believe it. No, yeah.
More lies than truth at times. I mean, it's not. Well, you're a Trump hater. No, I'm the way he does things hater. I don't care who would do that. I hate what's being done.
Exactly.
Not who's doing it. I actually hate what's being done. That affects me more than he's getting away with stuff. It's like Shecky Green being president. I got a story for you. Yeah. That's okay. Well, see, it's just like us. You know what? I never want somebody like me in charge of that shit.
Exactly.
Fuck ever. I'd be.
And you know what the other thing is too? What was it? I was at ShopRite a couple days ago, and it was early in the morning, and I was waiting for my Uber, and I was watching some news report about whatever bullshit he was doing within that week. And this woman just chimes out to me, says, isn't this great? We're finally going to have a lot of good reform and necessary changes made to this country. I looked at her. I looked her right in the face, and I said, listen, leave everything aside. You ever hear the phrase, you can get a lot of good done, but not be happy about how you got there? Like, at the end of the day, I think that's like the best thing we can hope for out of this whole presidency is a bunch of gains that were made in ways that we don't like, and somehow we're still democratically intact.
But I got to be clear to me if I'm going to at all talk about this. I really hope for success, and I would love to be saying, you know what, I was wrong about that, and I was wrong about that. I was right about this, and I was right about that. But what's getting me pissed off, and I have a very little tendency to take part in anything. I'm going to take part in the morning and then fucking ignore it so I can get shit done. But it's all somebody posting shit on Facebook, which is my source of public, of social media and how I need to get in touch with people. So I need to go there. But I have to like put these blinders on for the more than not. It's going to be, okay, let me post a meme here. Ha ha, Republicans always this, or liberal Democrats always. No, the liberals and because we're not individually now, we're all part of a group, and it's sort of like done, like throwing out bait so you can, all your sycophants can feel, bat stuff away from. But the thing I always ask myself, is the needle going to move from this? No. Is anybody going to ever say, I see what you mean now, do you put it that way? No, that's never going to happen. So by definition, totally ignorantly wasted time. Now, if people have that time to waste, I discovered I'm jealous. Unfortunately, I got a fucking promise to keep that's 21 years old now. I have to really focus on it, and I have to be half the person I used to be. And I'm finding out that I don't really give a fuck about how somebody takes what I have to say, and I'm not going to engage for as long as it takes to say what I have to say. And you'll be lucky if I get back to see what the fuck anybody has to think about it, because I don't have time for it. I got shit I got to get done, and it's getting in my way, and that pisses me off. It fucking
Absolutely.
pisses me off.
But at the end of the day,
we could all. They're saying we overlap. These people and me, we overlap. I'm trying to get something done here, and I'm not getting a lot of motherfucking help. There, that's all the swear I'm going to do. I really needed to let that out. If there's a monetary fine, I'll come up with the money. Let me know.
You're valid. I hear you.
I don't.
At the end of the day,
I don't fucking care now. See?
This is exactly what Steve Bannon said they were going to do. They're going to flood the zone. They're going to throw out a bunch of things so people can keep up. And you know what? Like,
throw it to the wall, see what sticks. Yeah, that's always it. Throw out more. Okay, drones, right? You launch an attack of 1,000 drones. You hope 5-10 get through. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's very similar to that. You throw so much shit, so many places that it all kind of blends and gets muddied together. You know.
And you know what? It's crazy that
it works.
Like that was understandable when it was a bunch of controversial stuff that, you know, was up for somewhat of debate or less of a debate. This is all just blatantly illegal stuff. And like, it's crazy to think that you can muddle the mixture with the same kind of
apparently
of shit.
Okay, then what happens is Democrats need to learn that fucking playing field. And instead of bitching about the playing field all the time, learn to play on the playing field. You got Dems. Don't keep taking the bait, because quite frankly, they do use the same style, but not with the wild, reckless aplomb that can actually obviously be done. So it's like I'd say Trump really covers it, mutes what Democrats are doing it simply by the sheer tone, tenor, and volume of it all. It is a predominant force, but responding in kind, you can't. You don't have that much kind to respond in. So if you can't respond in kind or more, you got to be more fucking. Got to be more clever with, and don't take bait. Just, you know what? Batter up. Don't want to hear it. What's been done so far? Jury's out. You don't know if it's working. Shut the fuck up. Batter up. I want cheaper groceries. Lay it on me. Okay. No, you know what I want? I'll extend an olive branch. I'll go for the price not going up any further, even though the promise was made. The prices will come down so quick it'll make your head spin. Quote, end quote.
And then what happened right after that? Well, you can't really.
Well, that never happened. So yeah, when you put, and no, it isn't fake doctored statements, and it isn't part of a witch hunt. It's part of what used to be called the news. Yeah, I'm not going to talk this shit either here.
We live in a day where everyone needs a special group of.
You know, it's just that Democrats don't recognize their own faults, and I do try to look at things from a 360-degree view, and I certainly see that, and it's just sort of like it's a distraction, and it's being dealt with when it really doesn't need to be, because did I mention it's batter up?
Yeah.
If we're playing, they get 100 days, got to get stuff done. I want stuff done. I really want to have. I would wish success to somebody I said I don't think will be successful every time. And yeah, affects me too. I mean, I get to benefit from success. So I think we need to acknowledge successes when they happen.
Did you know that Scutari put out a message?
Wow.
Scutari.
Thanks for bringing me back to this ball field, by the way. Because that's
what never happened. And to all those affected, I'm
going to die.
We are deeply sorry. We're sorry.
Stop.
We're sorry.
I'm gonna scream. This is hilarious.
We're sorry.
Where's the one of him naked on the rug?
Sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. Sorry.
Stop.
We're sorry. I'm deeply sorry. That should have.
You, Senator Scutari.
There's one of that shot in the South Park episode where he's like butt naked on a bear rug in front of a fireplace going, sorry.
Oh, that relates to Scutari. How I want to enjoy that part.
Scutari, sorry. It's if you read it, it's
yeah.
That's hilarious. That's really funny.
It's his message to the sick, dying, and disabled about prison time for one cannabis plant. That's what it says.
Well, you know, phonetically, if you took out the middle of his name, you're left with sorry.
Scutari.
Not you don't do the
first 2 letters of
you don't do
scam.
the coot, the coot. You don't say that. It's sorry, Scutari. I like it.
Yeah, that's why the C's in there, because it's a scam. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scutari.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Lefty, because you talked with veterans more than at either of the two of us. How are they reacting? Because I think honestly, the most troubling news out of the past week, leave alone you know the veracity of each one, is Hegseth getting confirmed. What are you hearing from veterans about that? Because I can't imagine they're at all happy about that.
About what? I'm sorry, I missed that. I don't.
No, they don't
Hegseth
like
get confirmed.
I'm
Some
sorry.
of
You
them
both.
don't like.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, I got no stake in that yet either. So, I mean, if I was a veteran, I would though, but I'm not.
I put my own. I have an interest in it only because I was just talking to my Uber driver about this. Is that whether it be the era I grew up in as a child or how I was raised or whatever, I have always held the firm belief that we need to be able to look at these people that lead in these positions and know that they not only are able to lead.
Yeah, but we got to give them that chance too, even if we think that they won't. I'm just saying the answer to what do I think of him and what might happen is I don't. It's going to happen, and when it does, I will gladly talk about what I think just happened without saying I told you. I'm not going to, because I don't tell anybody. I want to wait. And
I'd like that too, and I will wait for a lot of these people. But I feel like that's not the attitude you can take with someone who's a drunk rapist.
Yeah, I can actually. I can. I can let it, because I don't think he's going to rape anybody. And if he wants to get drunk, he better be good at hiding it. If he's good at hiding it, then I'm not sure. It's like, because I could find so many other things that are already happening and starting to blossom, and I don't want to miss that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's other shit I've been saying, wait till it happens. Hey, it's been it's 10 days or whatever.
It's been a week.
How long? I don't even know. See, I'm not like it. This doesn't really affect me. What affects me is the time that's wasted on dealing with shit that we're going to find out. We can't move the needle on. Nobody's ever going to say, I see what you mean. So it's a total waste of time, and I'm not going to be drawn into it. Bam! I'm back. I'm halfway back. This was me in the 90s. I would not be redirected. So anyway, listen, what do we got about medical cannabis or about what's going on in Edison and Dover?
There's a Dover council meeting tonight, but I think I'm good. I think we're going to boycott the meeting. There's a guy that's threatening everybody, and he's going to bring his boys out tonight to come threaten everybody. And not that we're scared, but I think it would be funny for him to bring all his guys out, expecting us to bring our guys out.
No, shouldn't you have the police on your side? Isn't this in a municipal building where the police are like right there?
Yeah.
Listen, I was in Brick, and I had to have the police, because I think you may know this because you were there a few years ago when there was we were not welcome there by the townspeople and everything. And I went back outside the door, right across where cars could drive by, and then there was parking lot all around that. And that's where the cigarette smoking is. And that's where we were allowed to smoke. And I was went out to use my legal medicine. And I heard from the darkened parking lot, somebody threatened, man, I'll fucking kill you or shoot you. Yeah, I'll fucking shoot you, something like that. And I fucking smiled, walk right back into the police and say, listen, I got to smoke some of my medicine outside. You need to accompany me because I was just threatened from in the parking lot. I don't want any investigation shit. Then I just want you to come out and watch me use my medicine. So he came out and stood on the opposite side while I stood there and smoked my medicine. It was odd. Summoning police to watch me get high. Yeah, it was like conflicting with 50 years worth of puckering and looking in the rearview mirror. I'm saying, come on out and watch. But, I learned from Lefty.
Lefty, I think you should absolutely, all you guys should go and stand up to these guys, and not even as a show of like you're gonna be violent back or anything like that, but as a show of like you're really gonna threaten a bunch of veterans. You're really gonna threaten people coming to address their needs to a town hall. No, we're not going to be pushed around by you guys. We're not going to. Put up and shut up, and if you put up, then you're going to pay for it.
Let me ask you something. Did you ever think of finding a willing participant to put on the anonymous mask, hoodie, and go on in there, and it wouldn't be our friend. It would be somebody they'd never seen. They'd think it's Christo, you know.
Lefty,
he could go up, do that, and like, ha, fooled you, shitheads. I mean,
Lefty, I'll put on my trench coat and my trench coat and my deep throat costume and Bushido samurai mask with sunglasses, and bring the sandwich puppet and just stay there. And she's like, "You don't want to mess with it." Why did he's right there? I should have gotten him.
Commit to the bit.
So boy, not going to the meeting. That might be wise. It's if it's a confrontation that you weren't sure what it would be, you're at a disadvantage because whoever would be confronting you knows what it's going to be, and you don't. So that you start from a disadvantage, you know. Yeah.
I think you should go because it's a public forum, and these things should not be intimidated.
Well, I know some people are not going, so I don't want to be by myself.
Oh, hell no.
So here's the letter. This Tuesday is the Dover board meeting. I would like to pack the meeting with Dover residents so we can show these.
I read that.
We can show these out-of-town scumbags that we support our mayor and the administration. You don't have to speak if you don't want. I will gladly do the talking. We just need your presence. I need everyone there at 6:30 p.m. Together, we can send a clear message that these scumbags are not wanted.
Now, where is this posted?
On Dover Politics, on Dover Message.
So people can respond to that?
Yeah, sure.
Did you respond? Are pitchforks provided, or do we bring our own? You know, I mean, little Monty Python fucking stupid shit, you know?
I like how he obviously, like, I hear very remnants in there of stand by and stand back and stand by. That's all I hear in that letter right there.
Oh, it's a dog. That's called a dog whistle.
Yes, of course. Thank you for saying the quiet part out.
A very low frequency dog whistle. It's a dog.
No, I'd
whistle.
say that was. I mean, we could read that. We knew what that was. We know what it is. It's
sure.
I'm just gonna say I've seen lower frequency ones, and that was just very obvious. Like, we want to gather a bunch of people here because scumbags are here, but that's not related. Don't worry.
I want to see somebody stand there one time, especially a legislator, going, "Work together, God damn it!" You know, just yelling at everybody.
The late '80s, early '90s movie. Can't we all just come together and get along? We are one people. And
well, you know, Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill, I think it was, used to pretty much meet once a week, and I believe it was over a beer or something, you know, but it was actually trying to get shit done where stuff overlaps. That's supposed to be how it works, and it's not going to work that way when the power, the majority, if they waste their time on take that, told you so, if that's how it's going to start out, goals are not going to be reached. You know, and see that I have a freaking problem with. Oh, did I tell you that? Batter up. Okay, no batter. We're forfeiting. That's one out. Batter up. Oh, you didn't come up again? That's 2 outs. That's what would happen in actual baseball.
Can we please have an umpire, a live umpire at these town council meetings, please?
You know, I don't know. So anyway, you know, I really don't want to spend time my own. I'll listen. I mean, I won't take the headphones off, but if you see me looking at my phone and shit, nothing personal, you know.
But
something brings me there, you know, just because. Look, you know, I could use some help in promoting a petition. It's not happening. I'm not really pressing for it yet, but I will be. And you know, I'm going to be needing some help. Between now and the coalition's public meeting on the 11th of February, I'm going to need them to straighten some shit out too. Because it's almost confusing to me, you know? And it's like people would rather say why it won't do any good than take a motherfucking 20 seconds to simply sign it. Oh, click share. Nobody's going to be disappointed, you know, but I'm reluctant to apply any pressure, but at some point, anybody that's on my friend's page that I can ascertain is from New Jersey is going to get a message directly from me, sign this and share it. And then people that don't sign it, I have no use for. Seriously, I'm here for one goddamn reason, and I got no use for them. So yeah, I get to cull the herd. I get to clean out the fucking garage, you know, because I got a lot of friends that aren't friends. So it's gonna be fun. You know, it's gonna be therapeutic, and I'm gonna do that shit in the morning of my day. So that aggravates me enough to carry on with shit where I'm getting something done. I find that to be starting to work out for me. You know, see, I'm rocking. When I start rocking, it's like Ricardo says, you can run with me, you can run against me, you can get out of my way, or you get run the fuck over. At least into. See, even I qualify that. But anyway, so there's a certain shit I'm not going to draw. I'm not taking bait. You know, if it's about getting homegrown New Jersey, yeah, you know, if it's about seeing fairness at the town councils, and I can't help much, and you guys, it's hard for me to be there and back here and get shit done too. But you know, so there we are.
Did you talk to Brian?
Yeah, I have a couple long talks with him. He's got some real problems. And it's really even hard to listen to them all because I wasn't aware of the extent of what it took to repair what they did due to cancer. But it took some really serious, basically a C-section that went, you know, and then pulling tubes out that ended up being like long, you know, that were in for the process. And he's in pain every day. All the time, can't use his hands very well, isn't getting a lot of help from his wife, who overheard us talking because he didn't say, Jim, by the way, it's on speakerphone. Watch out what you say about my wife. And he didn't tell me that. So there's another issue involved there. But I'm going to help him come full circle with what we started 9 years ago. I think it was about 9 years ago. We went to our congressman's because I am actually a voting resident in the 10th district. At state level, and that's Holsapple, McGuckin, and Tweedledee. I don't know, but we went there about 9 years ago and talked to. When you talk to one, you talk to all three. Same office building, lockstep. You know, just different houses of the legislature. So anyway, we got pictures of us then, and what wasn't addressed due whether or not we went there. And now we got Brian in this condition. And I had to be the one to tell Brian. He said, listen, I'd crawl down a hallway as if I need to. And I said, Brian, I don't know how to tell you this, but all you need to do is show up. You don't need to crawl now. Just show up. And he understood what I mean. So I've always been very honest with him from the beginning. That's why he sought me out when a common friend, Billy Keenan, said, to him, listen, you talk to Jim Miller about this. He's at the State House doing podcasts. So he came to a podcast. And, you know, lefty, right? You wouldn't know he had MS in the beginning. You know, looked like he just got off catching some waves or something. But he had primary progressive, the bad kind, the kind Cheryl had. And so we talked, and I told him how it was with her, not to expect it, but that, you know, and yeah, he's outdoing her, actually, you know, with other things. But I'm going to keep a way more closer eye on him, and I can stop over when possible. I think his wife's not there on Sunday mornings, and I could be there on Sunday morning because I'm going to be in Toms River in the afternoon anyway, and he's in Lavalette. But he meaning me through him and me, are going to approach Senator Holsapple and say, here's what we want to negotiate with you. we're hoping that you will see the wisdom in you being against everything cannabis since 1994 when you replaced Virginia Haynes in the assembly, against everything cannabis. You spoke against it when you knew it was about to pass the full assembly. You were the 30-second or 45-second speech against it. You were ignoring Diane Rapatello and 2 other people who were announced on the Florida assembly from the door to the back. And everybody does this, they turn around or announce, oh no, he was busy making notes on what to bitch about, when it was his turn. And anyway, we're offering him the opportunity now to be the one to approach Senator Scutari, because Democrats are too scared. And so far, the Republican co-sponsors, I don't know what their excuse is, but you as a ranking member of power within the minority party in the Senate, your job is to be a check and a balance on the majority party for when shit like this happens and you're not. So why don't you say, I'm going to vote against it if it gets to the floor. I'm going to make sure people point out my points of view during the committee hearing, and I will then vote against it if it gets to the full floor. Having said that, it is totally egregious to the official duties of a Senate president to be abused by Senator Scutari to block a bill because he thinks it's going to make him look better getting money into the Treasury. He's doing that for his own political gain, and I'm not going to stand for it. So President Scutari, or Senate President, I call on you to post this bill for a hearing that I do not like, so I can vote against it and let the chips fall where they may, because that's what government's for, whether I like it or not. Whatever, right? Can you see what that would do for Jimmy Holsapfel? Yeah. Or Brian can take Cheryl's place, and we'll start out by coming to the office, sitting right where she sat 25 years ago with a sign calling you a liar and a coward, just like Cheryl did, And then we can do what it takes. And beware, Brian's a smart man, and he did exactly what I do. I'm not going to do anything, but a man needs to know his options when health is fading fast to be able to take care of your options when that time comes. As of such, and he has information from New Jersey about the right to die procedure, to know that when it gets to be too much for him and he isn't getting enough help from his wife and family and is like laying on the floor because he didn't transfer good, waiting for somebody, and when he can't, all sorts of stuff will break your fucking heart, that he gets to then petition our governor to answer the question Jeff asked him, because he's going to ask the exact same question now, 3-4 years later. How is it that I live in a state that'll help me die, but not help me live by letting me grow my medicine? And then he is willing to be that person. And I see it being the visual that's necessary to get people to treat this like a reality, because what they say are people enjoying pot, being patients. Hey, can't help it if I enjoy the medicine. Not my fault. It's God's fault. It is. It's God's fault. He made, why? God made it like this, just like he made sex feel good. You know why? Sex didn't feel good. People wouldn't be doing that. It's disgusting. If it didn't feel good. Okay.
If pot didn't get you high, it would just overtake the earth. And
but how was he going to get people to know that this plant is his gift? How will they find out? Well, kind of like sex. If it feels good, like maybe they use it for kindling or burning stuff once you discover fire, who the hell knows? But I blame it on God, and I challenge people who are God-fearing and God-loving, people living by stated values. I challenge them to do me one favor. I've prayed about this, and I believe I've been answered. Have you prayed about this? Have you prayed to your God about this and gotten any response at all, or do you not bother praying? It's one of the two, right? Which is it? There's no good answer for anybody. None.
They won't be honest about it.
Well, no, be honest. You can't say I did pray. If you didn't, you're going to hell. But if you did pray, you say, "Oh, I prayed, and God told me the serpent didn't work, so he sent back this plant." Okay, then everybody knows you're full of shit. I mean, you can't win. And I actually believe it. I have a different belief. I call it nature. I equate nature and God to be not one and the same, but so heavily overlapped. I can subscribe to what people have as their religious doctrines, because a lot of it's good. If people actually followed their own religious doctrine, the world would be a better place. Not
Kill
look,
that
not look.
chorus.
That's comedians. Who is it that does it so well? Doug Stanhope for one. You look
Oh,
at
man.
any Christians on the audience, and yeah, hardcore. Anybody hardcore, or just like
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What I mean by hardcore is, it's sort of like, yeah, like the other night they were playing music so loud next door in my apartment that I want to go over and kick their freaking ass. You know what I mean? And it's like, it was sort of like, I figure I looked at, in all my religion, it doesn't say anything about the Beastie Boys, which is what was being played. So I figure it was probably okay. You look for a way to rationalize your behavior where where you're not really going to go talk to your priest, minister, or whatever to be absolved inside like advice, because you already know the advice. So you figure out ways around it. It's like me rationalizing. I used to have a bigger problem with rationalizing till my self-introspection took a big hit. I had a dream, and all of a sudden introspection, I can't stop it. The problem is it's a pain in the ass. Because I find out, wow, I was rationalizing, and it's really weird because other people can't get me to realize that. I can get myself to realize it, so, but I'm more comfortable with myself. It's just, I'm going to end up being angry in the morning and I get shit done in the afternoon. Simple as that.
I like how your mentality for success is very similar to Darth Vader's armor. He wears it just to piss himself off, and then that empowers him to do more.
I just don't like wasting time my own. And it's like as the older you get, you look at your future playing field and do any kind of actuary thought on it, and you know how little time you have to waste. And by the next week, you have less time to waste, which means to get the same shit done, you got to be on it more, not less. And I don't mean sitting down there, I'm on the job. I mean, in my head, I got to be in my zone with the thoughts that give me the field vision I claim to have. I have to be in a zone. It doesn't, you just don't summon up field vision. It kind of comes, and it starts when I take a shower in the morning. I go in there with shit I want to sort out, and it just becomes clear. I almost need a pen and paper in there to reach out and try to write something down. But I just have no tolerance for wasting time, and I'm not going to get drawn into shit. And there's a lot of shit I'm not going to have to deal with anymore. And I just got to find people to help get this hearing. I don't think anybody realizes how important that first step is for legalizing home grow for everybody, to have a hearing. Because that hearing is going to get everybody that wants adult home grow to go, see, yeah. That's why it doesn't happen now, because Scutari knows that's what can happen. And he knows that if patients have a hearing, the natives are going to get restless again. What about us? What about us? Hey, what about us? Never mind. What about the patients? What about us? But that's what he's afraid of. So I'm in for that. I think that that's exactly why. Okay, that's my opinion. Other people can rationalize shit, whatever. But I need to figure that out, because I need to know what to do about it. I don't need to figure out what Donald Trump's going to do. I don't need to figure out what liberal Democrats or how they're going to react. I don't need to take part in what's called false equivalencies. Oh, yeah? Well, that's like, fuck you. It's not like that. And whether it's a Democrat or Republican, fuck you. It's not like that. Oh, yeah? Well, that would be like, yeah, that's the worst thing that ever happened. Really? The Crusades were freaking worse. Holy shit. So anyway, it's fun. I get to blow off some steam now, especially in the mornings, and I get to get my shit done. And you know what? No offense to anybody here. I don't give a fuck what you think. I really don't. Actually, I give a shit. I got to give a shit with you too. That was a bad example. I do, But because I think it's like, even when you don't see my point, you don't start with, but what about, So that means we have conversations, actual conversations. And that's what's needed. And it's not going on. It's like throwing bait out and let's have somebody hide in the bushes, take a shot. What the fuck? Did I say yet? Batter up! It's really cool that Kathy's not here. I get to actually say shit like that. I mean, loud, because that's got to be annoying if somebody else was here. I'm hoping it's annoying now, though.
I would imagine NJ Medman. It's a mixed fight. It's the free speech is being brought up because their advocacy for homegrown and other things are being stifled. So it's because of homegrown that the free speech is being brought up in this instance. Correct, Lefty?
They're not mutually exclusive.
That's the way. Yeah. Well, that's just it. Yeah. People that can't talk and chew bubblegum at the same time don't get it. It's and also consecutive and concurrent when you're talking about mutual exclusivity or not. It's sort of like if you can do them at the same time, okay. If different people can do them at the same time that overlap and work on the overlap, okay. But what happens is, oh, that'll never work, which translated is, well, it wasn't my idea and it could have been. So if I didn't think about it, that means it won't work. That means I got to think it won't work. I'm done with that shit with people.
A lot of these towns, when they have First Amendment issues, it's usually they have no cannabis dispensaries. It's usually they have poor wheelchair access, or a lack of compassion for disabled people. There's a pattern of these councils and bad actors in these councils that are just doing bad things. Selfish councils like Dodd, Edison is another example of that. There's a lot of underground shit going on in Edison that I won't talk about here, but very strange stuff going on in Edison behind the scenes with cannabis. And Dover, same thing.
See, and the cannabis industry, I think, here's the thing. They see the writing on the wall as far as cannabis being a spark flame for open conversation and freedom of speech dialogues. And I think cannabis, cannabis more than any other industry. So are people in the town complaining about access to freedom of speech? Okay, I think we explained.
You're being distracted. You're being distracted, man.
Yeah, we explained this already.
Keep telling us what you're talking about.
If you don't get it, you don't get it.
Yeah, okay.
Listen to me now. I muted? What? Don't be distracted by that shit. That's a problem. Don't be distracted by it. It'll get dealt with. And plus, nobody's moving the needle. You're not. Other people aren't. It's not being moved. It doesn't change anything. It's just fucking annoying. And you.
Jim froze.
I can. God damn it.
Jim, you froze on the good part. Say that again. You froze.
No, I'm not sure you want to hear that. I'm okay. Let me rephrase that. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm pretty much sure that you don't want to hear it.
Okay, so anyway.
Look, there's a lot of people that aren't going to like me now, and I don't fucking care anymore. I actually used to care about that. I kind of wanted to be liked, and then I realized it's getting in my way. So I see other people that don't give a shit about it, right? And when I see them doing things that I am way better at, you know what I'm really good at? I'm not good because I forget stuff, but when I get to have a train of thought and get it down and release it, yeah, I have a way of imparting what I mean to say without saying it. Other people are too fucking obvious. It's like. So anyway, I do that shit in the morning now. Anybody's got a problem with me, I might deal with you in the morning. The rest of the day, you think I'm going back to Facebook and read anything that you wrote? Fuck no, I got shit to do. Oh yeah, batter the fuck up. How about we deal with that? Yeah. Oh, this is fun. Shit, and I don't have a whole lot of time tonight. I don't know how long we're going to do this because I thought you were going out to the meeting. And I knew you.
Which Lefty, I think you should actually definitely go to. I think you should.
No, I don't say I think he should go. I say
I'm saying.
Okay. I plan my time here around that, but I think he probably does win either way. And you don't know it unless you go. But then if something was going to go wrong, you don't find out if you stay. So I can't help you out.
Yeah.
I can't either way. You know, and
Lefty,
plus,
I think you should definitely go tonight. And again, I don't think you should go and with these guys thinking that there's gonna like be ready for an issue. I think you should go and hold the trust that if these guys get out of line, they're gonna be held to account. And if they're not, you're usually good at documenting that pretty goddamn well.
yeah, you know, a wingman is almost necessary, though. I mean, one
If
person.
you need a wingman, let me know. I'll come by tonight.
Somebody to hold the video other than him, you know, so he'd be freed up tonight.
Lefty, if you're going, let me know. I'll come by. I'll hold the camera. I'll hold my phone to that.
And Lefty, you're frozen in case you don't know it. Unless you're not
Frozen
live anymore.
sideways.
You don't know it, yeah. Man, somebody could have capped him and we didn't find out, and he's just sitting there. Oh, he's there. You look alive.
No, he wouldn't get capped. Someone would come and beat off on his windshield, and he'd be very upset. See,
Yeah.
he's showing us where the hot spots are again.
Well, you know, they could have one of those things that shoots hot dogs to the audience at a ball game and start peppering with dildos that could knock them out, you know?
Well, that was
Okay, for those that
somehow
don't
better than
know,
what I thought we were gonna go
yeah.
through with that.
Those that don't know the building you see when he's out there, yeah, that's where they would have
It's an
plenty.
adult entertainment.
It's not some sort of sexist, misogynistic way of saying something. There's a dildo factory right there.
Yeah,
there it is, yeah.
We've been over this.
Yeah, why don't you walk us over it inside?
Yeah, Lefty, go take a walk. Oh God, he's gonna do it.
No. We were kidding. Here, boy. Heel.
Here we go.
Heel.
Okay. So we're getting a rare look at this today. Look at this.
Yeah.
Let's take the risk of being ejaculating on to give us this
Keep
tour.
an eye on your car. Make sure they don't do an end around when you're going that way. Oh,
You see the X's
I
on
don't
the
even want to
door?
use
That's
that
the
phrase.
rating of the place.
Oh, wow.
So many X's.
Yeah.
So many X's.
So like I've heard up to like triple X. Wow.
This is
That-
ridiculous.
That must be like triple X to
Lubes,
the five.
private shows. I don't want to know what those private shows are. Just some woman playing with herself like it's a goddamn quesadilla. Just flop, flop. Terrible.
Yeah. Okay, it doesn't look so bad in the daytime.
Yeah, at the outside, I mean,
Yeah,
it looks
yeah,
average, but I think
pretty
Lefty gets a pretty
yeah.
good, intricate look at what these people are doing in their cars. What they were doing earlier was not pleasant by his depiction. He looks troubled by this. He looks strained. He looks like he just got out of like dealing with like septic sewage and shit like that. That's really, that frozen face right there is really funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to call some good moments from last Thursday's podcast with Nathan. I keep thinking back about him. He's one of the most knowledgeable men on growing.
Right?
No. The part that gets me is like, okay, so then when I want to go wash them off, I put in a green light because they don't recognize the green light and they won't start with maybe I want to go vegetative, you know?
Yeah.
And then I got to change the one in the hallway too if I need it on, so they don't get even a peep of regular light. Who the hell knows that? But it was his presentation like, okay, so you want to talk about is what you want to talk about. You know,
It was very Georgia. It was very Georgia.
It was so endearing because he had he had all the right names for everything. You know, the science of it and all.
He was doing that without a pH reader too.
Yeah, he was just like winding a story. I found it fascinating. You know, I was leaning in the whole time. Yeah, we're pretty connected already there. What I'm saying though, Lefty, I'm gonna look through that and maybe find some moments that if you could just chop this, and this and put it together, it would be a good little promo for what a good show it was, you know, to exhibit something. We're just talking about the endearing nature of his presentation with that. It was and you know, it's like here he is. Of all things, he's a tobacco addict. So he's talking about having a cigarette. And when Lefty said, "Do you smoke around your plants?" I didn't know if it was tobacco or them. Where they, oh no, he's smoking us. But when you said that, it went like this. It was like, so do you smoke around? Oh no, I don't smoke around my girls. Oh,
Jim,
why would I do that?
Jim, even better than that. When I asked him, "Do you sing? Do you play music for your plants?" Hell no.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good.
And you know what? That was a better example of the genuineness, because everyone I've talked to, and not to go against what he was saying, but everyone I've talked to as far as growing this stuff has always said, I sing, I'll talk to my plants and stuff like that. And he was just so genuine in the thought. He was like, "That's bullshit. Fuck that, man."
For him, it's like there's no science for it. And I like the way he started out saying he's always loved reading. He loves to read. People don't like to read anymore. But I love to read. So he'd love to educate himself, and with all that's available to do that right from your own, he's been on it and almost addicted to it.
He definitely struck me as like the type of guy where, like, in the early 2000s, he was like glued to the computer most of the time, just reading stuff.
Well, he has that kind of smarts, and
yeah. Well, I mean, he said so, yeah.
But he, I don't know. I was just captivated by it.
I was fascinated. I was telling Lefty at the beginning, like I was so leaning in at the beginning, and then I was sat back in my seat and just distraught listening to the end of his story.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm smiling inside of me is going, now Dranabinol, or he called it Dranabinol, or he did like Mitch Hedberg and emphasize it how he freaking wanted.
Yeah, Dranabinol.
Yeah, right, something like that. But it was like, that's what you get from reading, not from being lectured or talking from reading. It's a word, and that's how it gets in his mind. And I thought, but then when he's like, having in 1985, and I'm thinking, now I know that because that's Marinol from Roxanne Laboratories, like I told him. When I said, well, Roxanne Laboratories, he kind of perked up like, how the hell do you know that? And I could almost feel that, And, but then, that he knows all this, and he does it for the love of the plant, that he loves it, and he loves what it can do. And he goes, what does he call them? I don't know, clone, super duper clone. What do you call it?
A monster clone.
Monster clone.
That part blew me away.
I didn't know anything about that.
Okay, and then he's like, well, when I want to tie the branches up because they're going to get too heavy and they might break, you can't use like twine or string because they could grow into them, and I don't want to hurt them, and it could make it weaker. So you can buy from Amazon, it's like about like 3/4 of an inch or half an inch thick, and you can tear that even thinner and tie it up with that. It's like stretchy, like in stretchy pants,
Yeah.
It's stretchy. And he's going, holy shit, he goes through all that trouble, So I don't know. I was impressed with that. And then, of course, with the story of how it all worked out was totally depressing. But it's I don't know.
Lefty, if you, I could definitely bring, what was it? That my friend who was on the other week, Amanda, she could go through a lot of her own processes when we were doing the hydroponic growth of Maui Wowie. She's done a couple of those. She's pretty knowledgeable as far as hydroponics. If you were looking for more insight, monster cloning is when you re-veg a flowering, cutting each node in the bud will produce a branch. Yeah, that's how he explained it last time. It blew me away. Every little calyx on a bud will produce a branch when re-veg. Now, I forget, is it just like a more Medman? Is it just a more enhanced like flower at that point? Like just hence the name Monster Clone, or is there more to it than that?
A stronger plant, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Amazing.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's a job in itself understanding everything that he says, but that's MedMen's area of expertise as well. So,
I think it'd be a short bushy plant. If anything, I think it'd be bigger.
Yeah. I love learning from people that know more than me too, except for I can't keep with it sometimes because it's so much new stuff in a row.
Yeah.
That's why I crapped out with calculus. If you miss one thing, the rest doesn't make sense sometimes.
Usually when a grower fucks up and forgets to clone them. Okay. Yeah. Standing on the shoulders of giants, you learn a lot. And that guy last Thursday was a giant of the industry. I tell you, whether he's well known or not, he is that guy knows so much.
A lot of experience.
And it's all just his own. This is not like I'm sure he has some street knowledge with him, but a lot of that sounded like just his own making.
Harvesting at night. I mean, I've heard that before, but he's talking about green lights and washing your buds in the green lights and all that. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. Washing your buds in hydrogen
Jim, you're
peroxide
muted.
and then CO2 and then rinse, 2 rinses.
Crazy.
Yeah, I actually want to re-watch that so I can stop and absorb a little, just so I know and I can understand what other people are saying. I do growing. I'm taking advice from somebody, hands-on advice from somebody who knows more than me. I'm not learning that shit myself.
Jim, do you have a copy of the recording or do you need it?
No, Lefty, you put it up somewhere, right? You always do.
It's on Facebook. It's on YouTube. It's on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, I've had no trouble finding any of that. Yeah. That's what I like about it. That it usually you got it up there, well, it's the same day in a lot of cases.
Yeah, you did have it up rather quick. I wanted to go through and find something to upload. It was just, I don't know. I didn't feel like I'd be able to really present that putting that in a short. Didn't feel like it was going to give his story or the full context or justice at all. I felt like if anything, if you want to listen to that guy, you got to go listen to his full story. That's just
yeah. But teasers, like any decent movie, a little teaser thing, so you feel his presentation and surprising knowledge. And I got that kind of time. I don't consider wasting because it's towards the end I'm going. So
Lefty.
yeah, I can take the time for that, and then Lefty, you can chop it real quick, maybe. And
Yeah, I got to look at
even
that.
quicker than that. If you sign up for the editing software I use, CapCut, and you sign up for their Pro, you upload the whole footage into there, and it'll pull out highlights and cut them into shorts, whether it be 60, 90 seconds, or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, okay, Medman, let me ask you something because I brought this up earlier when I was talking with people. People were saying that the only reason you wash your buds, like he was saying after, is if you are spraying or you're in a pre-compromised area that you're growing. Is that the only reason you wash your buds? If you're spraying or doing that, like I thought that was just a precaution that you took when you cut your plant.
Well, I know that Nathan uses predatory aphids.
That's right. That's what he said. That's right.
So he has to wash those off. That's for one. And any mold.
That was another thing that I found really cool, that he went and just got bugs to hunt the bugs, and that would eat even the eggs and everything. That was really cool. Jim, you're muted again.
He didn't. He said, "No, I'm going to use the ladybugs because I don't like them flying all around all the time." So it's kind of like passing on one bug for one, and then whatever. But mostly his presentation,
Oh, but that's the thing too. Is like, I would, if I were to grade that conversation, I would say I'd like to grade you on your presentation, but it doesn't feel like presentation. That's just you. That's just you talking.
Yeah, well, Nathan grows indoors all the time. He doesn't grow outdoors.
Hydro.
Yeah, but I think he was just using that.
Yeah, and a very specific environment and setup, everything about it,
Yeah.
Yeah, his girls don't see the outside light of day.
No. And I like how he also emphasized that you got to grow.
He got a couple boys. He got a couple boys. Yeah, he got a couple boys.
Like what was it? He said there's like ladybugs. Nah, I don't got time for that. I don't got time for ladybugs flying all over me. He had a funny answer for almost everything when he was talking about flour. It was great.
And his girls, he's personal with them.
You gotta grow the boys. You gotta grow the boys. You gotta show the boys some love.
Yeah, I got to rewatch that. I do.
Oh my god, it's so entertaining.
Hmm.
And you know what was it? My friend Tasha was over the other week, hanging out in the corner, and she's listening to this guy talk, and she's just looking at me like, it's just he captures, draws people in, crazy.
Oh, I saw. I went to the Garnet Grill. 17 minutes away, so I thought, maybe Pat's there. Yeah, I pulled in. There's what appears to be an inspection car, a little good mileage car with a county mark in Camden County. Yep. So he just got, I think, the real last inspection today went well, and I maybe one more that would be more a matter of process than wondering how it'll work out. So the opening could be as soon as Saturday at the earliest, could be a little later. He had a whole bunch of shit going on, and that's how he's an amazing person to walk all through to get to this point. And I've never seen him tired like he is now. But there was one piece of beer battered chicken that was probably prepared an hour or less before I got in.
Right.
Let's go. Hey, you want to try a piece? And so it was still warm enough, but not like right off, thanks, and you start eating.
Right.
Holy shit, man. Whatever. It's, how do I put it? It's like not falling off the bone, but it's chewing itself. It's almost like, it's too easy to chew. It's too tender. Because then I got to tell myself, man, you don't want to swallow all that taste right now. It's like really fun. No, I took a little video of me having a couple things, a little high and all, but yeah, man. So I'm going to beat that opening. That sounds really really good. And
I wanted to share this with you guys because this was I went to a dispensary in Elizabeth recently. This past Sunday to go visit one of my followers who opened up spot over there. And I've said to you guys before, I like going to all the different dispensaries in New Jersey because they all do something a little bit different. This one did something that really took the cake for me. So they got a lot of their highlighted product on the wall before the register, and they're all on these reader bits that they're attached to. So you pick them up off the shelf and they're attached to a wire, and you put them on this platform next to the screen. Once you put it on there, all the details of the product will come up. Like I don't know if you've ever seen from the 90s where they'd have those like video game bits where you take the character, put it on the thing, and it would like pull up a whole game or the extra bits about it.
Nice.
It was, I don't know. I always like to put those things on blast because those are really cool. They're just innovative ways to keep people informed about the product and what they're buying and whatnot. Because at the end of the day, like, this is the thing I've said about the med side as well. And I've always thought, what if private practice with this in some regard? But even as med patients, you go in there, you're not getting the same amount of time as you would with like a doctor. Yes. It was even with edibles. It was all the product. You just go in and yeah, it was really cool. But with med patients, you're not getting the same kind of time with a specialist or doctor that you would any other ailment or anything like that, like 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. You're getting 15 minutes at best. And that's on a good day where it's not busy and they can, screw around for a bit.
About your cannabis doctor. I want to make sure.
No, I'm just in medical and patients in general. Like,
in general, yeah. Oh, yeah. At their own doctor.
Yeah. Like you go into the dispensaries, you're not getting like the time you would with like going to see like your regular doctor, where you have the time to talk to them, go about your ailments, break things down, talk about allergies.
Yeah, it would be nice if they just had somebody like your normal greeter at a motel, somebody to be there. You could ask a question. I mean, where that would be that person's function, and to have somebody on duty. You know, if nobody's
And they-
asking
I've seen a
questions,
lot of
yeah,
dispensaries-
you fill in doing other stuff. It's like, hold on a second. There's somebody ready to be right there. That'd be pretty cool.
And I've seen a lot to that point. I have seen a lot of dispensaries have open up. Very few in New Jersey, but still some open up like a private sected off area where you can sit with the patient and they can discuss back and forth that kind of discussion with you. But I've always wondered what the potential is, because I definitely think that patients would appreciate that kind of experience as far as cannabis advisement. A one-on-one hour at maybe at most, being able to talk, go through the conversations that they want to have and the stipulations and stuff like that, and properly mend their ailments.
I want to know what dispensary has a greeter that's fried. And what do you mean fried? Does he like, hey, welcome to the dispensary, yo, what's up, man? Or like, what does that mean, fried? Or is he just like
My answer to that is go to Air Woodbridge and
Well, I
you'll
mean,
find
no,
a
I
greeter
mean-
that's fried.
Tommy Chong fried, Spicoli fried. You know, I mean,
fried, Spicoli fried? Yes.
yeah. Well, I'm telling you, there's a difference. You know.
You'll go to Air Woodbridge. You'll see a guy there. He's about 5'7". He's got short hair. His name's Jimmy, and he will be your fried greeter.
Wait, does he have a gun?
No. I'll tell you one thing though. That's another thing I like about the dispensaries is the different security guards I'll interact with. When I started at Woodbridge, there was a security guard. He's still there. He had a golden Glock. I went right up to this man and I said, I'm sorry, what do you do in your off time? Do you hunt God? Like, why do you have a golden gun?
Retirement. Retirement.
That's not a good enough
card.
answer. Austin Powers retires, he gets a golden gun.
Yeah, well, did he have golden teeth too, or something?
No. That would have been, I feel like if I saw that, I would have been like, okay, there's an affinity here. No, it's just most black market providers will explain all their
Well, yeah,
products.
I agree with that. Yeah, man, that's
Yeah, but you know what's funny about that is that and with the black market products is that you really have to get a good one for them to be explaining something that actually is true. Whereas, like your regular dealer, they're explaining BS to you when they are buying sprayed fentanyl bud. But they're giving you fun details, aren't they?
I didn't
What
like.
are you holding there, Lefty? What is that?
It's a drum. I was going to practice my song that I was going to play tonight.
Oh, please, let's hear it. Give us a little.
Did you ever hear Whitey on the Moon?
Oh God.
No.
You never heard Whitey on the Moon? Oh, it's great.
Well, not by the title, but
Yeah, but the name I get enough from. Go ahead.
Well,
have you ever heard "It takes a lot to laugh, it takes a train to cry"? How would you know, right?
Well, this is my version of Whitey on the Moon.
Virgin or version?
Version.
Okay.
Both.
It's called Dodd is a Fraud. Your attorney is incompetent. Dodd is a fraud. He doesn't understand the First Amendment. Dodd is a fraud. He's an empty suit with an empty mind. Dodd is a fraud. He lives in Mayor Dodd's behind. Dodd is a fraud. Sergio is a psychopath. Dodd is a fraud. He spends all day microblading in the bath. Dodd is a fraud. He looks clean, but he rarely stinks. Dodd is a fraud. With a dirty mind and a tiny dink. Dodd is a fraud. Dodd believes in higher taxes. Dodd is a fraud. He doesn't believe in wheelchair access. Dodd. Tell me he hates our vets. Dodd is a fraud. He turned the council into a mess. Dodd is a fraud. Little Dick Dodd is the king of Dover. Dodd is a fraud. He makes the citizens band over. Dodd is a fraud. He gives us Little Dick energy. Dodd is a fraud. Little Dick Dodd sits down to pee. Dodd is a fraud. He has a dick just like a runt. Dodd is a fraud. He called an African American woman up. Dodd is a
Oh. Oh, sorry.
That was excellent.
It was fun.
Thank you. Listen to the original. The original's amazing.
There's a Ricky Gervais song. Have you ever heard that Ricky Gervais song, Don't Cry, It's Christmas? Where it's basically
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and the one he proposes that he's gonna sing to the kids at the cancer wards. He's like, "No, you ain't got no mommy or daddy." There's definitely a spin there you could do for the Edison Town Council meeting. Like, don't cry. It's time for a meeting, and everyone has the right to speak. Just songs of corruption all over.
Here, can you hear
Or
this?
against it. I don't know. I can't keep up at this point. Pretty fried.
Oh yeah.
You hear it?
No, I just went. Oh yeah. Getting high. Oh yeah.
The siren sound of counterculture. That's what it is. He's playing it. He's dancing. He's grooving. He's jiving. Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for some good music after this. We're off here.
So, Jim, coming down the pipe, like looking long term for the year.
Sure.
I mean, I can tell based on my knowledge from meeting you guys will be at the Cannabis Expo when that comes around. What other no?
I don't get to those too often.
Oh, he will. What other bigger, I guess, events do we have to look forward to as far as relevant to you this coming year?
Oh, I'd say anything they do at UFCW 360. I just put them on worth going to because they got S-trees inside. But it's also, I've been pleasantly surprised by the people you run into and cross paths with there. It's really nice. So, but the others, what? There's the.
I'm sorry, Jim. Let me just interrupt real quick.
Yeah.
Madman, I'm not saying anyone's spraying bud with fentanyl. What I'm saying is they're either spraying it or fentanyl is getting on it. And what I mean by that is that the countless stories that I hear of people that sell both and they'll just get mixed up with each other. It's just, it does happen. It absolutely does happen. It is not false bullshit. People absolutely get their bud contaminated with fentanyl, and it's just true. It's absolutely true. I'm not saying they're spraying it with it, but I am saying that does get contaminated. 100%.
I think there's only been like one or two cases of that, and they're not sure if it was actually the kid lying that because he was taking fentanyl, or he said that there was fentanyl in his weed. But I think he was lying because he really took fentanyl. I heard that story. I know I looked up these stories.
Did he really have fentanyl provably? I mean, I missed. Was he arrested for it or what happened? And I could see somebody saying it was laced with fentanyl if they did anything egregious, because that's something to blame it on. Say, I'm not like that at all. It was fentanyl. I didn't know it. I thought it was just.
Madman, I like how me saying that basically what you just said, that it was cross-contaminations, is met by you saying it's bullshit. So bullshit. Yes, it is cross-contaminations. What does that mean? I don't know. I mean, my dad's a doctor. I know these things are happening. I know these the cases are coming in of kids buying weed off the streets or buying. I'm not even limiting this to just weed. It happens with all sorts of drugs, and they're getting some sort of fentanyl cross-contamination. So, you can keep believing that, but okay. And I just said before, if I misspoke, I am not saying that they are spraying the fentanyl on the bud. Let me be clear and speak myself, because you're only listening to what you want to hear. I am not saying that they are spraying the bud with fentanyl. I am saying they're either spraying bud with something, and that there are cross-contaminations with fentanyl. That is what I am saying. Again, let me just clarify this for you. I am saying that they are spraying the buds with something, not fentanyl, and that at a separate occasion, fentanyl cross-contaminations are happening. There, you got it. Did that get in your ears? Cool.
They're eating the cats.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna cross-contaminate. It's like somebody says pizza, you want pizza. Somebody says whatever, it sounds good, and I keep cross-contamination. I got a really good buzz. I'm cross-contaminating. I think I just kind of feel
that's a good cross-contamination. Yeah, boy. I would take a hit to that.
Come on, I'm having a Miller. My name's Miller. It's light. Gets lighter as I drink it. Get it? You know, it's 12 ounces now. It's going to be 3/4 of a pound.
Okay, cool, man. I don't care. I clarified myself. So I said if I misspoke, I apologize and let me clarify myself. But if you want to hold on to that mistake, that's your own thing. You get racked up over that. Cool.
He wants to kick you while you're down.
Yeah, I mean, I have the recording. I'll do a nice slow playback for you. So it's like I'll get John Madden's voice in there. I'll be like, so here's the point right here where he said it, and here's the point right here where he obviously wrapped up in his own emotion and nonsense.
Distraction. You're taking bait, dude.
I don't want to have it made seem like I'm saying something I'm not.
You know what? Ignore. It's like, don't even read it if you don't want to. You keep taking the bait.
Wait, is he just an established troll? I don't know if he's an actual person or if he's just a troll.
He's both.
Well then you're invalid then, man. Bye. I don't care. I don't care what you say. You either play full truth or troll. If you play half, you're the troll. That's just it. Bye.
He's a friend who trolls me. He likes to troll me. Us.
I don't care.
I like, I have a problem. I like Medman. He's always good to me, and it's sort of like, be that as it may, I won't be distracted. I can't, because that makes me feel bad. So see, right now, I'm not even reading. You can't see, but I'm looking, the bubble comes up. I ignore, and if you don't look at it, it's not there. So if you have to do that, you're doing yourself a favor, and that's pretty easy to do. And if that's all you got to do, it's a new playing field. Don't bitch about the playing field. Learn and adapt to it, dude, because you'll be better off for it. I mean that. It's not hard. The thing is, I still like to listen to people, because much like I say about everybody else, Medman's going to have a really good point, and I'm going to want to hear it. So I'm conflicted because I've gotten also some very good advice from him. And like I said, he's always treated me real good. As a patient, he has made sure I had medicine in the past on multiple occasions. So.
And I have commented on multiple other videos in the past on things that he said very truly and agreed with things he said. But if someone's going to misrepresent the things I say, I'm going to clarify it. That's just going to happen.
Right now, you don't have to look down. Don't look. You're looking.
I'm not looking up. I'm looking at the screen. I'm not looking down.
I'm looking at you too. Okay. It's funny. It's like, look at me. It doesn't look like you're looking at me. Where are you? Okay. Look, I'm not looking. You see my eyes going down.
Stop looking at it.
I'm just staring at my
I
screen.
got it, right? I see it. You're smiling.
Don't.
We got it.
Don't.
Yeah.
Him at directed or named wasn't he that post into him who I complained. Then by of uncommented Jim in live we America the is this.
Are you reading that? And I'm trying not to hear it and read it. Are you just reading something to me, Lefty?
I read it backwards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't have to do this, because I'll do that to you too. I'll fucking do that to all of you. I'm an equal opportunity.
I'm just going to keep my eyes closed so no one can accuse me of reading nonsense.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Look, if it's a distraction and it's going to pull you away from somewhere where you think you can move the needle, you're doing everybody a service by doing that too. It's when no needles are going to get moved. It's like it's the definition of fucking useless and actually counterproductive when it keeps something else from happening.
The CIA pays people money to do that.
Are you happy, Madman? I can't use my eyes now.
Okay, I'll allow that.
And now I swallowed a lemon seed. Shit.
Yeah, well, what's a cigarette butt, man? When you swallow cigarette butts, it's because somebody doesn't know the internet.
I've never done that. That's nasty.
No,
I'd probably die if
well,
I
you know what
did
it is? When you're at a party and there are cans of beer, when it's empty, you crimp it. You don't have to throw it away. If you're going to leave it out, you crimp the sides. But when people leave empty beer cans like that, people put cigarette butts in them. And I put my beer down, I pick it up, and there's a little wash on the bottom. And that happened one time. And I think I got PTSD from it. It was like 17.
See, if I do this every stream, then eventually I'm going to be the stream daredevil, and I won't need my eyes just for streaming.
You know what? That was a funny scene on Peaky Blinders one time when Alfie Solomons met the mafia guy, and he wasn't opening his eyes yet, talking about why he always had his eyes closed for 30 minutes every morning, and on that. And it was pretty funny. But you have to know Peaky Blinders to understand.
I can't peek through blinders. My eyes are closed.
Well, look, it's like avert your eyes, okay? Like there's a woman that's naked and she can see that you're looking at her, so you look above
So you
her
show her your ass.
while you talk, or you just give in. And
No, I know. Listen, if I call her naked, then I have to even the playing field, and I got to pull my pants down. It's pound for pound or ass, like skin for skin at that point.
Hey, one of my friends would be frisky and like seniors in high school and playing with the local girls, having a what do you call it, a strip poker. And my friend, it was like 5-card draw, so you had a chance to make a move, and he went all in and everything, and he had the worst hand you'd ever seen. He just took his clothes off as quick as he could believe, because that was the game. I don't know why that was fun for him. It's funny for everybody else.
So bad of a hand, he stripped himself.
Yeah, well, they said it's like, okay, and before they could change their mind, it was funny. I miss him. He was a real friend. So you're not going out there tonight, or you are going out there tonight?
I can't.
I think it's a boycott tonight.
Okay, good. I'm just watching the time. I'm watching the time because I got stuff I got to do. I got a whole list. It's fun.
Don't let. And you guys should love people questioning and trolling. 70% of what you guys do is troll city councils.
Oh, I guess he told you. Hang your head in shame. Oh, but what about? Oh, yeah. Well, that would be like, that's the shit I'm talking about right there. That's the shit I'm talking about. It's like, hey, how many pegs can I take myself down with these people? We're becoming his throwaway, and eventually, I'm going to enjoy it. I really am. So watch. I'm not reading. It's just that, like, somebody makes me angry, I make it my business to make sure there's somewhere public embarrassment. That's the way I retaliate. And actually, because more people know me than know you,
If someone says something,
if it's like, let's bring our tribes and our seconds and thirds and fourths, man, why would anybody do this? Seriously, there's no point to it. There's no point to it. You're not a great debater. You have a lot of information. You mistake that for being good at disseminating things. You're not. You're not an embarrassment. You're a good, solid, probably above average. Nothing more. And I know I'm just a little better than that, though. I'm not as good like with this because I'll forget stuff. But you really don't want to go. I'll meet you somewhere tomorrow morning, not behind a woodshed. I'll find you. We'll have like this morning. And it's why I didn't read shit all you had to say to me after that this morning. And have shit all, Ha ha, truth hurts with an I. Okay, first of all, it's spelled with a U. I'm sure you can take care of that. But if you want to convince somebody you're smart, spell shit correctly. Okay? Your turn. Let's do this. I'm having fun. You're catching me on a Miller Lite. Let's do this. Come on, go ahead. What do you got? Go on. Type. Truth hurts. You know what?
No, truth hurts.
The truth does hurt, but that's why some people can't stand the truth and deny it because they can't stand the pain of being wrong. I, on the other hand, make more mistakes than anybody I know once, less twice. You, man, you don't stop it too. What the fuck, dude?
I'm going to double down again.
I am really wrong a lot. I know that. That's how you learn stuff,
I want to catch Jim after like
listen,
2 shots.
Here's what Warren. You know what? I'll read that in a minute or repost it. See, I'm watching it. Warren Buffett. Interesting. Just said on an interview, who would you rather hire? Somebody with a 120, 130 IQ that thinks he has a 120 IQ, or somebody with a 150 who thinks he has a 170? And what he said was pretty. He said, "I'd rather hire a guy who I know is smarter than he thinks he is, but you can't underestimate people who really don't have a grip because they are going to hit it out of the park now and then. You got to recognize when they can do that, you know. But right now, I'm not going to do shit all because I don't have to right now. So I'm sitting like this so I can see you guys, but not the shit on the screen, you know.
I'm glad you can see.
I don't care. It's a waste of time, and I'm the only one between two people that know that or that give a fuck about wasting time. So when somebody has nothing else left in their life and this is something to do, now I feel fucking sorry for you. Okay? There. I really do. You're a better person than this. What the hell went wrong with you when you can't really deal with things like from the middle like you used to, from a common sense point? And you know what? I'm saying that. I'm cheating. I'm still not looking at any reply. You see, because this is the way I can have some fun, but you don't infect me now. See, I haven't been infected that when I get off of here, I'm going to be where I need to be. This is one beer, not going to be followed by more. Have a bite to eat. I'm going to get some shit done. You know, I'll think about you in the morning. It helps me wake up fully. You know, you're better than a cup of coffee. What can I say? So I'm done. And there.
All I know is that the deep state pays people to do this kind of work for free, and you're doing it for free. Why are you trolling the people that are fighting?
Why? Yeah.
Well, the government.
Be
Go troll
ashamed of
Scutari.
yourself.
Troll Scutari.
Wow.
Troll someone that deserves to be trolled.
People that do nothing but bitch and don't
Yep.
do anything about it where the needle can be moved are doing nothing more than bitching. When all a person does is bitch and doesn't do something, by definition, they are a bitch.
Yes, yes. Thank you,
Sue,
thank you, thank
Save
you,
us,
thank you,
Sue.
thank you.
Save us, please. What do you got to tell us? Tell us something good.
Mike Robinson, remember Mike?
Oh, yeah, just talking about it. Is he
Mike-
There's a new voice.
Mike had a relapse.
Oh, no, yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Can we put him on Thursday?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he's in dire straits. He needs us to love him. Okay,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What's Mike's story?
he's got mesenteric cancer,
Yeah.
and he's had this has been ongoing for a few years. So Thursday, okay,
That's
Okay.
great.
Yes.
Anything he needs.
I'll be
okay,
there.
all right. I gotta go. Okay,
Okay, good.
Okay.
thanks. I'll
Thanks.
see you later.
Yeah, he's the one that made sure Brother Rick had what he needed for not only RSO but the stuff. His whole thing. He you know, it was stuff that would have cost like somewhere around $1,000, and Mike took care of him. You know, and it just came in the mail without asking. You know, because he was on the show before, and and actually Rick told me about Mike, and I thought he knew that he was supposed to be on the show. And I said, he's going to be our guest. And Rick didn't even understand what I meant because I thought he knew that he was on the show. And it was just a weird coincidence because of Rick's cancer. You know, see, this is shit that matters, what we're talking about right
This
now.
is how I want. Yeah. Thank you, Sue, for bringing us back on track where we were supposed to be talking about.
Yeah, realities that matter, and not this schoolyard shit that gets in people's way that do have shit to do, you know? So I'm not even going to think like that no more. You know what I mean? I'm going to pretend it's back when we used to be friends. You know, I'll do it like that. I have a reference point for when it wasn't like this. That's not that long ago at all, you know? So anyway, that's good. Now I'm just going to hold my hands over this just in case, though. All right. So
Last piece of, I forget if I brought this up last week because this is the only piece of relevant information I have left that I think you categorize as important, Jim. Did I discuss last week that Air took down the division between their rec hours and their med hours?
yeah.
Yeah, they finally went. They went last week. It was just I noticed at the Woodbridge area, but now it seems to be solidified throughout multiple locations.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mixed feelings about that. It's a good business decision, perhaps. You know, I don't think it's like we don't give a shit about patients. It's just sort of like what do you call it? A return, what you get back, and at some point, you know. I mean, but still, it seems like if a patient showed up and there was a line, it's like, okay, patient comes with a card, you get to cut the line. That's the
Yes.
same sort of thing. You know, that would.
And I will reiterate, to their fairness, they do divide the medical counter and the recreational counter.
But
Here's my problem,
on
though.
on the way in, I mean, in other words, if there's a line out the door,
Oh, well, yeah.
You-
Well, yeah. So the check-in process at the dispensaries when they do medical and rec, they if you're a med patient, you check in differently than a rec patient. So yes, they would be able to get priority, I would believe, under that same system. My problem is, though, and I think you would agree with me, that with a system that is consistently on one explanation consolidating, but on another explanation shorthanding the medical community of cannabis, I think these dispensaries should be doing everything they can to, even if it's just a publicity point of just like, okay, we're open 2 extra hours for only med patients, to show that that's the priority. That's where it is. This is medicine first before anything else. And I think even something as simple as that is something that they should be doing for the community. Whether there's a big line that's keeping med patients from there or not, to show that the patient matters first.
yeah, yeah. And to that end, let's figure out how we can find a way to get a petition to have a bill be heard about medical cannabis home grow. It seems like that's the easiest ask one person could ask another for. We know all these people in the field, and you know, I'm not the guy that's good at doing this. There are people that are. Does it actually take something like having a contest where whoever has a share and the most shares downstream of that share gets a half an ounce at the end of the month? I mean, in other words, is it not easily enough to entice somebody to sign something that's simply signing? They want the legislative process to take place for this, that's being blocked by one man. You know, it's the easiest ask. And I need help. So when I put out I need help, this is the least responded to thing that I get. Lazy was the word you were using. It's like I am encroaching on people's natural laziness, but how lazy is it? It's a freaking.
Before I welcome Bear, I just want to ask you.
One thing though, I just want to cap that. You won't forget, will you? Because I will.
No, go.
Okay, I might have just have. Oh yeah, if it stays like this now, I'm going to back the fuck away entirely, including from here and the coalition at all. I got a life to fucking live, you know. And if I can't get any help getting to that and finishing the process of the promise I made to Cheryl 4 days before she died, if I can't do that with this lowest common denominator, easiest ask ever, and if I can't start putting stuff out this week and it doesn't happen, I think I'm walking away. Really, there's no point. There's just no point if I can't interest anybody in doing that. I can't back it up any farther. I can't.
No.
There's nothing behind this to say, okay, how about this? There's nothing. It won't do any good. It won't do any harm.
So to that end, Jim, I more than
not as individuals, but if you know people, or you know people who might know people, or if I try, you know.
And that's what I'm trying to get at here. Like, out of most people other than Lefty here and yourself, like, you know, of most people I know, I really want to get this pushed just as much as you do.
Just the petition, nothing else. It starts and ends with that, because nothing else works if that doesn't happen. So put no thought into anything else with home grow except getting the petitioner. That's the lowest common denominator logic for the lowest common denominator approach. And if that won't work, I'm done.
Right, Jim. So hear me out on this. I want to advocate this to the end of the moon, but my problem is primarily is that I can say, hey, you should go sign this. And other than saying a couple more good bits about why home grow is good, why cannabis is great, I need more talking points. I would love it if you put together a Word document for me of like when I'm bud tending, when I'm at these events, when I'm online, how I can pitch this in a fashion that you think would be successful.
First of all, it's a petition, and it needs signatures. And what you really kind of asking for without knowing it is the preamble to it. It's a petition. What about? that what I've written about, it's the only petition of its kind, a medical cannabis patient home grow petition that is solely about getting the initial hearing that any bill needs by a blockade put in place by one man for over 3 years. You see, that's like, it doesn't matter what the bill's about. If it's not good, it shouldn't be voted in. If people are against it, they should want it to be heard so they can shoot it down. But no, it's
Here.
because it will get out of committee and it might get passed. But the part that sticks me and I can't shake it is it's because Scutari is afraid. He doesn't want to talk about home grow for adults because in his mind, and he has a leg to stand on, it's going to lessen the money coming into the state treasury. His bones are being made by being that guy over these next 4 to 8 years when it's his turn to run for governor. It's this whole thing. And I don't like being part of that plan. I don't like Patience being part of that plan. Now, he won't say it, but to do all that without ever saying why, how does that not light anybody's red lights and yellow flags go up? It's when he will not say why. And when it says Lefty, yeah, well, we've actually been talking about this lately and never says who the we is. It's unacceptable.
Jim, can I ask you a question real quick? And this just popped in my head. And this, is, I don't know if this has ever been thought of before, but is there a difference? And I'll extrapolate this on this if I have to, between home grow and personal growth.
What kind of differences? All sorts of differences.
So you mentioned his holding back because of the fact that there won't be money brought into the Treasury Department.
Well, that's Scutari's opinion.
Right. So if you know this better than anyone else, a lot of these times you got to sweeten the pot for these guys. Is there a way that, and I hate playing devil's advocate to this degree, but I want to move the needle you do. Is there a way that legalizing home grow, whether it be through some sort of oversight on it or whatever, could still solve that problem for them and bring money into the treasury? Whether it be,
that's what I say. Yeah, you want to figure out like if you can get what slice of the pie you can get them. It's Jersey. That's how it works. On the other hand, at some point, it needs to become how bad this is about to look for you if you don't. So it has to be both. There has to be a really good push going on as if there's nothing else to be done and everybody's life depends on it. But then there also has to be thought as to that. And I got to tell you, the political capital somebody would get by helping this happen, especially if they're a Republican, for those that do support it, and there are, the political capital they would get to assist in getting this bill heard. So that's why Brian and me are going to go after Holsapple and say, the reason you want to help get it heard, the reason you want to have a check and balance on Scutari is you're a minority party senior senator. It's your freaking job to hold them checks and balances that you are to be taking part at that level. And then you become, you step in and make it happen by being the guy. And Scutari don't want to argue with you, Jimmy Ho. He don't want to argue with you is what Brian and me are going to be telling him, So the fact that Cheryl and I protested at the office calling him a liar and a coward for over a couple-year period starting almost 30 years ago, it's like, does he really want me to be doing this again with Brian? All that you see me, I need to take it out on somebody. He's my little huckleberry. I'll tell you what, it's going to be him thinking I should have dropped this rope. All I needed, I'm giving him a back door. I'm giving him a negotiation. Brian is that, and it goes all the way back to Brian being almost really healthy the last time he went there, and now he's not, and that's why they didn't do shit for him. And we're not asking for support. We're asking show your lack of support with information, not hearsay. Show it with the information you get at a hearing. Make sure you have the people here, bring in the Sheriff's Officers Association, bring in whoever it is that's going to speak, bring in the rehab, bring in the, I just hate cannabis people. Find Mary Pat Angelini for crying out loud. Bring her, but don't allow it to be hijacked into oblivion, keeping it on a shelf. It's just not good government.
And I get that.
Obviously.
Here's the thing. The thing I hear over and over again, and I don't want to be having this type of conversation, but this is, I feel like the bet, like the
What is
path
it? Go on.
success. I keep hearing there's gonna be the other shoe that drops for them, and that other
I
shoe
don't know what
is
that means.
never enough to move the needle for them. So my thing is, and I hate saying this, is it better to just give them that small slice of pie?
Oh no, yeah, grab a pie. I'll give them my slice of pie. Yeah, I don't know what that would mean, but yeah. And the thing is,
Like-
you know what their slice of pie is? Credit. They get credit for making sure the bill was heard. Republicans, they should. They
I
should.
wish that
They
was enough.
can. We got 3 co-sponsors. Seth. Nah, he goes through Gopal. Not Gopal. Yeah. No. O'Scanlan. And anyway, we got 2, I think, or 3. 2 of the senators. I can ask this question through a constituent, and it's sort of like it's what your constituents would want. It's Republicans support this. More Republicans will support this, voters, than not. So, like, it shouldn't
Do we
take a
think
poll
that? Do you
to
think
find that
that?
out.
Though, I think that
Vote against
the
it.
big thing that if you want to play to the game of their public face, a big public face thing that they're going to put up front is that the fact of the independence of home grow. And what I'm saying is that both in giving them that sense of the slice of pie and serving that public face, maybe introducing something to the bill of the sense of, like I was saying earlier, a tax for people who want to grow at home, and also maybe some oversight over how much they're growing.
Yeah. Everybody froze for a second.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm saying-
how much they're growing is 4 plants mature, 4 immature, and if there's a problem or a complaint, send somebody out to check it out. Otherwise, no harm, no foul. Get the fuck out of the way and take care of serious shit. That should be the program.
And I
That
think
should be the
that
policy.
if you did that with a tax,
Complaint, if there's a complaint, legitimate complaint, I have nothing against somebody going out to check it out,
Yeah.
But also, I have to rely on people's intelligence growing anything over 4 plants, that you'd have a plan to do something with 2 of those fuckers before somebody comes over.
And again, I don't want
That's
people
what
coming in and
that is.
checking on our flower either. That's not the
No,
thing.
no,
I
no.
want. I just want to move
part
the
of it.
needle.
Okay, you know what I
primarily
want?
for
I
tax.
want them to do what other states are doing, and they can pick one state. They can say, we want your bill to be like this state's, but don't say that it can't happen, because we are the outlier
Adam, how you
state.
doing, man?
We are the outlier state. It's not up to us to show why it should happen. It's up to them to show why the status quo should remain. Simple as that. What's up, Adam? Oh man, how you doing, bro? Okay,
Hold on 1 second.
okay, there you are.
I feel like if I
Yeah,
recognize,
you can't
this
fool
right-
me. That's a picture.
I feel like I recognize where he is. It's there's a I was at an event there, an industry event back in November. If that's the place I'm thinking of, it's like a little mini mall with like a restaurant and a couple other places in it.
Let's
He's
all
probably up
say-
in. He's in New York.
Oh, okay, then it's not that.
well,
Another
listen,
place I know like that. I don't even know if they're still is FAO Schwartz still around in New York?
sure.
Yeah, I haven't been to New York in forever, so I have no point of reference.
I don't know. Hey, listen,
Because I looked at the screenshot and I saw like the background, and I was like, that's the only other place I would think that looks like that in New York. But
well, look, I'm short time here, so I gotta. Is there anything I need to impart with you or ask you, or that you might want me to say? Should I have to do something else in 5 minutes?
I would
We're
like.
gonna
I
have
would like.
a. Go ahead. We're gonna have a new format here. starting
Okay.
soon. We're gonna have like videos and segments
Good.
and breaks.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Back in the early podcast days, I remember how nice that was to have a segment. I mean, the second year, it was so cool to be able to take care of shit and keep it rolling. I think that's the right way. Yeah.
Yeah, let me know if you want stuff to put in for the commercial during the break, Lefty. Jim, I was going to ask you if I could for a minute.
Sure.
For a short that I can edit together, if you wouldn't mind just talking to the camera real quick and present that bill you've been presenting to the camera for a short, as if you were like addressing everyone. Yeah, right there. Thank you, Lefty.
Okay. Yeah. Specifically dealing with what area of what I'm dealing with?
Generally speaking, just tell your story within like a good 60-second. Just like, hi, I'm Jim Miller. There. Ready?
Adam, mute your phone. Adam, please mute your phone.
Well, I'm not going to start with the I'm Jim Miller thing. Lefty can do whatever he wants in the beginning. But the deal is right now, as long as there's been no medical cannabis home grow in New Jersey, since it was yanked out of a bill where it had already passed 2010, patients were promised a chance to revisit this. It's like 15 years later. Now is the time. There's been a bill simply to allow 4 mature plants and 4 immature plants. I mean, that's really not a lot. It would be easy to pass. It's a bill that should easily get passed because we are a medical cannabis outlier state. All but one other state that has medical programs. You can grow your own, especially if your state also allows adult consumption of cannabis as being legal. So we're an outlier state, and there needs to be a hearing for a bill that's been blocked by one man, Senate President Scutari, for over 3 years now. He will not let Senate Health Committee Chairman Joe Vitelli post it for a hearing. There are co-sponsors that are not saying, Senator Scutari, let it be heard. If a person doesn't think it's a good bill, speak against it at the committee hearing and say why. If you think it's a good bill, you do that. People come from both sides. It's not a run over from either side. If somebody doesn't want it, they should be willing to say why in a committee hearing. But to avoid it means Senator Scutari knows it will pass, and he doesn't want it passed because he doesn't want to deal with home grow for adults, which is the big issue. So he's casting such a wide net that he doesn't want to have success with patients that would show he could have success with adults. It's about getting money. And when it's about getting money, I don't care how inadvertently it gets down, trickles down to patients, something needs to be done. Now, when there's a petition that's so easily signable, saying kind of what I said here way more eloquently, that can be signed, it's sort of like so simple, and I can't seem to get people interested in it. So I want somebody to tell me why something's so easy to start this train going. I simply click, I'll sign this. Well, it won't do any good. Don't care. It won't hurt. Okay. I could have the conversation with myself, and it's not happening. And I just think that if people aren't willing to do the simplest things to help patients get home grow, they should shut the fuck up. How's that?
Can you say, why am I still waiting? Why am I still waiting?
Okay.
There.
People have been waiting for a hearing on this, like I said, for 15 years. They've been waiting to be heard. It was promised them by the same man that's now been in the way for over 3 years. And I got to say, I'm a patient. I have what was catastrophically damaged feet, and I'm lucky to be walking on them now. And I don't understand after all these years, why am I still waiting? Fuck it. I'm sorry, you could cut that off before that.
I'll censor it. I'll keep it, but I'll censor it. That's great. I love that. That was very powerful.
Feels bad.
Well done. I'm gonna have a
Awesome.
put together a nice little.
All right,
Put that through the Capcom filter, and that'll be a sizzle
You
reel.
said Capcom filter.
All right, well, listen.
Whatever the hell it is.
What are you talking?
It's perfect timing.
Going through the Mega Man
It's
filter.
like I said, my short time is up. So,
Anyway,
Adam, sorry to not have to be able to commiserate now, but we kind of almost overlapped. All right. Hey, interesting night, right? But we don't.
All good.
need to-
My timing was
we don't
terrible. I apologize.
we don't need to be distracted by the distractions, though. I hope you saw how easy that was.
It
Now,
was
I'm looking at
easy
you,
once I
Bucket. I'm
find it.
looking at you, Bucket Man. I'm pointing at. Okay, there you are. Yeah, there you are. Yeah. Don't be distracted, dude. You know, you don't you can grow at that. It never gets easy, but work on, like what I said, defocus. Got to develop whatever blinders that it takes, because you don't want to let the shit that you can move be distracted by shit where you can have no effect at all. You know that. You're pretty smart. All right. Night, everybody. Good time.
Night, Jim.
Man. Exit full screen. Exit. Why do I never
Night.
know? Leave.
So, Lefty, you ready? You're gonna walk out of your car now. Yeah, I mean, it's nightfall. The across the street critters are out.
I'm going out.
Yeah, you're gonna get a surprise tug there out there. Generative situation in that parking lot. I tell you what, yeah. They still out there in their car making eye contact through the dark. And Adam's looking down like, what the hell are they talking about?
No, I
That
know
is
what
not
you're talking about. I know.
I just love seeing your eyes dart down like the. Lefty was out there earlier. I just hear him going, they're making eye contact and they're jerking off.
Yeah, it's what's the word? Spicy. It's very spicy there.
I like you. That's a very general word for that. But yeah, I guess I'd have to agree with you there.
Well, it's an interesting property that shares a parking lot with another interesting property.
Yes, both. And you know what? Funny enough, both which that have dildos in them.
It's true.
Dongs and
And
bongs.
I'll tell you this. The one place I'll credit that place is that their dildos are probably not on a Hot Wheels track.
Then how are you going to test them out?
I don't think that's I'd love to also hate walk into the couple and say, "Hey, honey, you got the Hot Wheels track set up for tonight for Valentine's Day?" And that's where I leave Dave Knight.
Valentine's Day is coming up, folks.
Let's-
Here at Mad Hatter.
Set up your Hot Wheels
That's
tracks and dildos.
When you guys said dildo race, I thought you meant something else, like having them like race on the ground because of the way they vibrate. See, that's way more safe for work.
I like how
What are you thinking?
I like looking
Yeah,
back.
who finishes first?
I thought
I didn't
dildo
wanna-
race. I didn't think you meant that, but now looking back at it, I don't know how I couldn't have thought you didn't mean that.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to know what you were thinking.
Now you do.
Yeah. You know how many times I've been fed information that I just retort back to them is like, I could have lived several lifetimes and not heard that at all and been a better person for it.
Well, did you see the news that some OnlyFans entrepreneur was she did 1,000 guys in an hour or in a day, and then someone went and beat her record by 87 guys doing the 1,087 guys in a day, and then the first one is now suing the other one.
That for what? For what?
I don't know, for taking her idea or something, whatever. But isn't that
That's
so? It's
that,
like, so there's way more scandalous things going on than a whole bunch of dildos racing each other on a track.
what I want to know is at what point does that get into the Guinness Book of World Records?
I think that's why they tried to do it. Imagine being the Guinness record holder who's got to watch it,
And that's
because they can't just take her word for it, right?
Okay. Like we have to tally mark it across your body.
Well, I mean, you think there was a office pool to see who got that job over at Guinness? Like, all right, guys, we got the Bonnie Blue 1,000 bang. Who wants it? You
And
think
that's
they
probably,
jumped over?
probably the same careful consideration as like the person's like if they were doling out the medical positions and they're just like, yeah, you get the proctologist. What? Come on, dude. I don't want to be the proctologist.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how many proctologists are beating, world records where someone from Guinness has to go observe of them putting their hand in a butt or whatever the fuck a doctor like that would do. You know what I
You
mean?
know
Like,
what?
so they probably
I
turned
think
down some records specifically for their own personnel reasons because they don't want to scar their, HR has to deal with that.
Yeah, their reputation. Yeah, the
Well,
reputation
and their
of people with
employees.
longest fingernails and things like that. Yeah.
Imagine, I'm sure there are all kinds of records that they decided to turn down just because they didn't want to subject one of their employees to watching it.
But you
Like-
know what the funny thing is? I bet dollars to donut there is some sort of legit record out there that's related to proctology and the medical profession.
Rick knows. I broke the record for the longest national anthem, but they never recorded it. But I have it. Oh, I did.
But then there's like when you were in school and you'd hear like kids talking about like, oh, was it my friend beat this record or that record? And I remember once when I was in school, one kid told me that he went to a baseball game that was like the largest attended baseball game of all time, and I was like, that doesn't really count. That doesn't really. You're in the audience. I'm pretty sure you can't just hold that record yourself.
No, him and every other person that went is part of that record holder. But that title's pretty diluted, if you ask me.
Exactly. It's like if you share like the Jamaican bobsled team, if they were to get in the world record, would be like stretched as far as credit. That'd strain them, let alone a whole stadium full of people.
I guess it's really up to Guinness and their internal rules. I don't know.
I think there's
But yeah, that's
a new record that needs to be added to the Guinness Book of World Record, and that's greatest delivery of karma, and that goes to the 3 January 6 rioters that have been killed by police since their release.
3 now? That's
Yeah.
Wow, that's enough for a conspiracy theory.
And but it's not. But here's the thing: conspiracy theories are like, okay, sometimes there's truth both ways. Here it's like, no, they got arrogant and got out and started getting cocky in front of police officers, testing their luck. And
Well, sure, phrases such as "well, you should have complied" come to mind.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that at all. They threw feces in a house of refuge. That was one thing I did not know about.
Politics is wild right now. It's getting wilder. It could be worse for us, but it's still terrible.
It's
Terrible.
wild because here's the reason
Very
I was
strange.
interested in that fact is that there was a judge put out a statement about all of them who were pardoned, and in her statement it said something to the regards of nothing can wash away the fear, the blood, the feces. And I was like, wait, what? Hold on. I didn't even know that they did that. And we let these, so on record, let's just everyone come together and realize that we've freed a bunch of shit throwing violent pedophiles in some regards. And 3 of them are dead.
Yeah, I mean, I'll sum it up like this without getting into too much. It seems like both major parties would prefer a benevolent dictatorship of their party values to their benefit and not to the benefit of their political opponents. And the Constitution is like inconvenience.
Yeah.
So that's wild to see. We're like a third world country now. You don't criminalize the opposite side. I mean, they've been doing that. Like we're years deep into this type of shit. So it's just escalating from there.
Yeah, it's just I think this is the level of escalation that I think is just
It's very dramatic.
makes people want to stay inside, but that's what they want us to do. Well, anyway, I was telling.
You want to see something cool? Look how old. Look how old this place is.
Yeah, that's what I love about Chinese restaurants still represent that old shit, and I love it. I love it.
But this hasn't been changed in 30 years. Easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Same
Good
recipes.
shit. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just getting rice.
Oh, it's banging. Oh, even rice. Like I will often just go to a walking by. I'll pop by get a box of
Thank
rice,
you.
go home, take that with me. Whatever. It's cold, thrown in the air fryer.
Let's see. There's a poop emoji statue at the U.S. Capitol.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I get the white rice and then I make fried rice.
I want to make Hawaiian rice now.
Oh shit! I just remembered I have to do something. Ooh, good thing that guy texted me.
What's an A-top?
Bacon, pineapple, sriracha sauce on the rice.
All right, you tell me what this is. I'm not sure.
What if it's the poop thing? It's a disgrace. What is this? What are you showing me? Oh, I hate it. It's oh wait, okay. That's
There's a new temporary statue attracting attention near the U.S. Capitol. A brass-colored desk with poop on it. The feces atop, slightly larger than a soccer ball, looks like the popular iPhone poop emoji without the eyes and sits on top of the approximately 6-foot wide desk. Viewed from the right perspective, the pyramid of poop traces the outline of the Capitol's famous round dome.
I've got to scream. Oh my god, that's such.
This memorial honors the brave men and women who broke into the United States Capitol on January 6th to loot, urinate, and defecate throughout those hallowed halls in order to overturn an election. President Trump celebrates the heroes on January 6th as patriots and warriors. The monument stands as a testament to their daring sacrifice and legacy.
I think if they were really going to go that bold, I think they could have gone a little further, and I think it really would have gotten to them if you just put like an actual one of those statues that looks like 3 war heroes mounted on top of each other, except instead of war heroes, you make them furries. That would have pissed them off to such a great degree. Just take the Proud Boys leader and 2 of those other well-known ones and just put them in like furry love costumes and just have them hugging each other over a empty flagpole. That I think would have gotten to them.
4 people died on the day of the attack, and 1 Capitol police officer who fought against the rioters died the next day. Other officers later took their own lives. Whoa. I didn't know that. The Justice Department said the riot caused approximately $1.5 million of damage, and several members of Congress have said feces and urine were used to desecrate the building.
And can I just point out that
Oregon.
say what you want about this guy, but I always forget his name. But our one of our senators from New Jersey was actually there picking up the trash and shit the day after. So I mean,
he was full of crap. He put the garbage down and then he cleaned it up. He put the garbage down and then he cleaned it up.
You know what? I've heard that too, and I don't know for sure if that's true, but if we're gonna.
Pat Duff was doing an investigation on that, and he uncovered that.
Oh, well, that's disappointing to hear.
Pat Duff, Pat Duff.
I mean, these are I can't even.
I know, right? I know.
No, but it's just in this day and age where people are even saying people are doing honest, genuine shit, and then people just make shit up about them.
Yeah, Yep, like Jim Miller.
I can't look at a still that's being depicted and say, okay, there's someone doing something. And I don't like getting to this point where I'm just I hate the world that encompasses me. But it gets to this point quite often with this.
Are you feeling mad? Are you feeling mad?
Yes, very.
You're
Wow!
You're
I like the wee.
Yeah. Woo, 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 woo. So you're not going to the meeting tonight?
No, I'm not. Nobody's going. I'm not going by myself to face a rabid mob. Although I
So
would.
wait,
But no, it's a tactical thing. Nobody's going. Like everyone's not going.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna generate you. If I do generate you an AI image of 5 men in front of the Capitol building with pacifiers in their mouths, holding like they're gang members, just like this. Would you post that?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm doing that. Yes.
Yes. 1,000 times yes.
Awesome. And can you please send me Jim's link? Because I keep saying I'm gonna find this and I never know how. I'm gonna wrap up for tonight. I'm gonna try to go live within. I'm actually going to say this now. I'm gonna be going live at 8 p.m. On YouTube. Yeah, let's say that. So I'm gonna be going live on YouTube, Bucketman TV. I've got some new layout pieces I've been wanting to show off, and we got some magic to talk. We got this to talk and everything like that. So if you're around, come check it out. Content on the YouTube and the Instagram, Bucketman TV. Either way, please come check it out. And everyone, thanks for coming by today. Thanks for everyone's support. And whether you're saying constructive things or not, thank you for being here. Thank you for being an eyeball and a witness to this. And we appreciate you very much. Lefty, I will catch you later. And everyone, be well. See you Thursday.
Good night, Bucketman. Let me see if I can get this working here. Leroy Truth was just arrested at a Baptist church. And let's see if I can get him on real quick, because he just called me. I'd rather have him on StreamYard. That would be better. My phone isn't set up for right now. I have to set my phone up. All right, let me do that anyway. Let's set the phone up. This way, if he calls, I can call him back. All right, sorry about that. All right, let's see if Leroy will come on for 5 minutes. There's going to be a show tonight on I believe it's Long Island Audit. They're going to have Leroy's story on tonight. And let's hope he can get this message. And let me see if I can bring up the video. The video is absolutely ridiculous. Let's see. He was in a church playing beautiful piano music. He played on a Grammy Award-winning album. This guy, he's a legit piano player, and he asked permission, and he got permission to play piano. Played beautiful piano, and he sat down and started praying. And when McGreevy walked in, apparently Murphy was there as well, and they wanted him gone. They kicked him out. I was like, whoa. So, yeah, we're going to try to see if we can get Leroy on. Maybe I can get him on the phone. Whoops. Nope. Let me set this up. Shit. Hold on, Leroy. I got to set this up. I'm not set up yet. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on. You'll hear me in a second. I can't hear you yet. You could probably hear me. I can't hear you. Hold on. Almost ready. I got to click the right button. I'm one button away from getting you live. Here we go. There's Leroy. Leroy, what happened, man? I was watching a video of you in a beautiful church playing beautiful music, and you went in the pew and started praying. Next thing you know, Jim McGreevy walks in, and they got the cops to kick you out of there. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, that was one of the most egregious violations of the First Amendment right of religion in the First Amendment, right to worship. And it was so egregiously wrong. And I had performed 2 pieces of music as part of the prelude before the people came in, and I had asked permission from the wonderful music director named Daquan McKnight. And I said, would it be okay to play? I'm a professional musician as well. I also used to be a music director and choir director in many churches. And he said, oh, absolutely. And I hear an echo, by the way. I don't know if the echo is also on your live.
Let me check that. Hold on. Is that better?
Check 1, 2.
Is that a little better?
Yep, excellent. Yep, perfect. And so I talk with Daquan, and I still hear the echo.
Can you call in on the StreamYard link? I sent you the link.
Yeah, I'll go on the link. I'm in the car, but I'll go on the link.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right, thanks. Yeah, that's better. Oh, that's what it was. Wow. Hey, Leroy.
Hey, hello there. I got
Hey,
some
man.
car with the brights on behind me. Very
Oh,
annoying.
look at that. Yeah. That's a thing nowadays. Everybody drives with their brights on. It's like a thing.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're gonna go by. I'm going much slower. They're past me.
I can see it. Looks like the sun. Look, you're like in an eclipse right now.
Yeah.
Wow. People are nuts,
Ridiculous.
man.
Yeah, ridiculous. It still kind of looks like. Anyway, maybe this helps. There we go. All right. And so, hello there, young man.
Leroy, that was a shame, man. In the house of God, McGreevy walked in and then he had them kick you out. Is that what happened?
Yeah, so what happened is after I got done playing the piano, and I had played one song, and then after I got done playing one song, beautiful Christian song, the music director said to me, or he asked me, hey, why'd you stop? That was so beautiful. Play more. I said, not for now. I'm good. And then a little later, as more people were coming in, and there's no music playing. Like I was a music director for many, many years, in many different types of churches, many different denominations. And it's always beautiful to have music to create this beautiful spiritual atmosphere as people are coming into the church. So I asked the music director, I didn't assume I could play again because I played once. I went up to him again and said, would it be okay if I play another song? He said, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. And then Full Court Press records me as I'm at the piano. And as he gets closer to the piano, the music director was there, and then he walks away because I had permission. However, I do that piece, and when I got done with the piece, and it was a beautiful piece called Open My Eyes, Lord. Love that song. And just as I was finishing, some random guy claimed he was with the church and said, you can't play before a service. And it's like, well, actually, yes, I can, because the music director gave me permission. He said, no, you can't play. I said, all right, and it's their church. I'll respect, whatever. And so I ended
Was
the
Murphy
song.
there was Murphy there at that time?
No, he was waiting outside. So sources say that's about maybe 20 minutes before the service, so 20 to 11 approximately. And so then after I was asked to stop playing, I did. No one asked me to leave the church. There was no like, oh my God, you got to leave. He asked me, and I'm, said yeah, and it's all good. And then Full Court Press, he then whispered as we were in front of the church, in front of all the pews. He said, Leroy, who gave you permission to do that? I said, the music director. So then Full Court Press recorded this, and he went up to the music director named Daquan McKnight, very nice gentleman, and Full Court Press shook his hand and said, thank you, and meaning thanking him for letting me play. And the music director said, hey, that's all good, man. And then we both went and sat down in the pew, and we were there anywhere, I don't know the time frame, 10 to 20 minutes, and suddenly some supposed security people and some deacons come up to me, like three guys surrounding me, and I was at the edge of the pew, and they're saying, the pastor wants to talk with me. I said, what are you talking about? Why does the pastor want to talk with me? I'm thinking maybe he wants to say he really enjoyed my playing, right? And he said, no, the pastor wants you to come outside. Now I know where they're going with this now. And, I missed a very, very important part, is after about 10 to 20 minutes when we were in the pew, Full Court Press turned around, and he happened to say, hey, Jim McGreevy just got here. I said, all right. And my entire focal point of that event, that worship service, was to observe and participate in service, sing some hymns and so forth. It wasn't to say anything, other than what you would do in the church service. And after the service, once everyone's outside, I was going to attempt to ask questions of Jim McGreevey and Governor Phil Murphy outside the church. And however, after Full Court Press noticed Jim McGreevey come into church, within 2 minutes, deacons, some guy who says claims he's a security guard, are trying to get me to go out of the church. Like, a politician can't tell a pastor to remove a man praying in a church. That's exactly what happened here. And so they're trying to get me to leave. Like, no, I'm not going. I'm here. I'm going to participate. I'm going to enjoy this. And so, so then I hear one guy say, okay, call the police. And so within a very short time, the police enter. And at that point, that's where Full Court Press started recording. And that's where you see the police interaction. So, and it was insane. Again, they violently took me out of the place. And it was only 5 minutes before the service at that point. Oh, hold on, I just got a very, very time-sensitive text. Yeah, I got to finish up, and I got to send something for my live. But anyway, and they very violently took me out, slammed me to the ground, and pushed me out of the church. I slipped on the stairs. They were wet from snow melt. And after I slipped, the cops were like, no, you didn't slip. I got on a body cam. Yeah, I did slip. They're pushing me out of the church, down the stairs. Then they throw me out, lock the doors, no arrest, no trespass warning, no criminal complaint. That's like thugs do. Thugs do that. In a bar or something. Not in a church when a man is praying, not disrupting, not disturbing the peace, praying. They could not have come at me in a more sacred space than they did. Major violation. And the church violated my rights hugely as well. How dare the pastor work in collusion with a scumbag politician? That, by the way, someone just sent me a report that when he was married, when Governor McGreevey was married, he admitted to having three-way sex with his wife and at least one guy, maybe various guys. That, and this is the type of people that the church is endorsing for mayor, and he has me violently thrown out, and the pastor is all too happy to agree with it. And one last thing before I go, I've called the church twice, and I asked for the pastor to call immediately so that we can have a sit-down meeting face to face. I want him to tell me who told him to get me out, and I want him to apologize to me. And one last thing is, after I was pushed out of the church, when I was out on the sidewalk and the service had ended, no one asked, was I okay? They just assumed I deserved it. Except one woman named Sonia. Myself and Full Court Press were talking with her. And I asked her if she would go into the church and ask Pastor Daryl Griffin of the Monumental Baptist Church in Jersey City, who did a monumental violation of my First Amendment rights and my human rights. And I asked her to ask him if he would come out and talk with me, because I wanted to get to the bottom of this. And she came out and said, yes, the pastor promised he would come out and talk with you. I could only wait there so long in the cold. I must have waited there an hour after the church service was over. Didn't come out. Freaking liar. He's not a man of God. He's a hypocrite.
There's no Holy Spirit in that church.
No. I mean, it was disgusting. To be treated like that was disgusting. And no one stopped the cops. No one asked, hey, what's going on? Everyone saw I'm literally sitting there praying.
Well,
and
maybe you brought the Holy
it's okay
Spirit.
for the police to come in and violently take me out.
Maybe you brought the Holy Spirit when you were playing your piano and praying. You brought the Holy Spirit down, and then the Holy Spirit went to work and exposed this false church and these evil people that kicked you out and violated your rights. That's Satan right there.
Yeah, it was evil. I got to run. I got to get some stuff for my live stream at 7:30. Hope you can join.
Yeah, I
Long
will.
Island
Those are
Waters
the people
channel.
we're fighting, though. We're fighting those evil people, man. That's actually the people we're fighting.
Yep. Yes, we are. Amen, brother. I love you, and I'll talk to you later.
Love you, Leroy. God bless.
God bless you too.
Unreal. So that's what they're doing to Christians in church now. They're violating your rights because of the thugs. The machine, the political machine, threw him out. Unreal. Absolutely disgusting. Well, I want to thank Matt Hatter for having us here at this wonderful facility. They'll be opening up in a couple of days, and I'm looking forward to that. And so thank you, Matt Hatter, for having us. We're actually going to try some new things here on the podcast. We're going to have a format. We're going to have commercials. We're going to have videos. We're going to have products for display and for use to talk about. And it's going to be an amazing year coming up to 2025. So thank you, Matt Hatter, for having us. I want to thank CMMNJ, of course, UFCW, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, and you can always donate a couple bucks to SativaCross.org. Our list begins with Cheryl, Sabina, Diane, Gracie, Cindy Mae, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy. Randy had the Whipple procedure. Before they gave him cannabis oil in Pennsylvania, they gave him the Whipple procedure. You're doing it backwards. Give him the cannabis oil first. They didn't do that for Randy. Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger fought for his child to be able to use cannabis in school for her seizures. Jay, Ella, Hattie, Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean McKay from Suicide. He was a Marine vet. Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne Peters from Tennessee, No Men's Ray. That's right. No Men's Ray. I have a sample over here, maybe. No, maybe I don't. Yes, I do. Right here.
I am the law. No Men's Ray.
That's Thorne Peters. No Men's Ray. If you don't know what No Men's Ray is,
I am the law. No Men's Ray.
I am the law. No government entity should tell you what your rights are. You have these rights already. We didn't need laws to tell us that it was wrong for Rosa Parks to sit on the front of the bus, but we needed a law. Was Rosa Parks wrong, or was the law wrong? Because the law says that Rosa Parks couldn't sit on the front of the bus. So should we enforce that law? Well, Rosa Parks didn't. The law was wrong. When they said black people couldn't marry white people, the law was wrong. These are our God-given rights. We don't need a government or an entity to tell us what our rights are. There's no guilty mind here. There's no guilty intent here. There's no victim here. Same thing with cannabis. No Men's Ray. We shouldn't have any laws for cannabis. Zero laws. But we got to play the medical cannabis game. And unfortunately, it's a game with sick and dying people. It's a game where people are suffering, sick, and dying, and suffering every day. That's the kind of game it is. It's a very serious game. But we're going to play this game. And it's not even on a level playing field. But that's all right. We're still going to play your damn game. No Men's Ray. Look it up. There should be no laws against God gave you this plant. There should be no laws against it. But yet there are. And it's so codified down to the minutia. Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jaybird, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, Red, Rico, Lou, Becky, Lawanda, Chip, Paul, Lisa, Marcus, Gary, and Jeff Oakes. So that was a man right there. Stage 4 cancer, and he would fight. He was fighting for you, fighting for your rights. He went to these council meetings sick as a dog sometimes and poured his heart out to these people. And they still didn't listen. Some listened, but some didn't. Most didn't. Because they're part of the machine. The machine. Because when Jeff went in front of the Governor Murphy, when they gave him that question last, and he read that question that said, Governor, why is it okay that the state will let me kill myself with assisted suicide, but not give me the cannabis that I need to live? And of course, Governor Murphy, instead of taking Jeff Oakes under his wing, he pushed him off to Judy from the health department. We would have home grow today if Governor Murphy took Jeff Oakes under his wing and listened to that man, listened to everything that he had to say. A dying man's wishes. Why wouldn't you enforce a dying man's wishes? That's what it was, a dying man's wish. That's why I fight for Zoom access, because Jeff made his last statement on a Zoom meeting to Sussex from his deathbed. He took part from his deathbed. If you got something to say from your deathbed, I want to hear it. And right now, and the Zoom access, the way it is, there's no deathbed. There's no wheelchairs going to meetings. There's no sick people in hospitals able to go to meetings. There's no disabled vets with their windows shut and the shades down, with the gun in their hand. No, there's no meetings for them either. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.